presents. Today we shall be discussing All Her Fault. And by the way, it was not her fault once we start talking about the series. But anyway, it's a limited series on Peacock. Outstanding series. At least 3 to 4 stories going on at the same time, all kind of integrated. We're going to break each story down. What does it mean? Who's the real villain? Who's the real victim? We're going to talk about that sort of stuff. But anyway, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. You can like on the video. You can comment on the video. Please watch the video till the end. We would appreciate that. So let's enjoy the intro. Let's talk about the show.
Oh, wait. I got to do it now. Wait. This is going to be funny. Wait. You ready? I got to do it.
This is awesome. This is amazing. I love it.
It was psychological. It was emotional.
Extremely entertaining.
But as always, as we try to say here, as we said, if you are new to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. And as we talk about this video, please like on the video and comment on the video, and we will get back to you as soon as possible.
All right, All Her Fault on Peacock. I was like, what? Stacey and Kim was like, you need to watch this. And I said, what? But then I was like, it was good. I watched it. I was like, all right. So how we generally felt about it. We're going to do how we generally felt about it. Then we're going to get into the kidnapping specifically. They're going to work on some of the supporting stories. That's how we're going to do it. So let's start with Jamani. Jamani, overall, sir, what did you think of the series?
I thought it was good. It had some clip. It always had a good cliffhanger to keep me coming back. I really don't know about this title. Like,
I'm
like, this should just be called. This is basically just Crash, the TV series, or something like that.
I like that. Or All His Fault, but that could have been a spoiler. But because ultimately it came down to Peter not being shit.
But it all came down to a crash. So
yes, for one story, yes, but other stories, no. But the main story, yes. I see how you put that together. Yes.
Yeah, I thought it was well acted, and yeah, like I didn't know a lot of these
actors
and actresses, but yeah, Sarah Snook is on the radar now, so yeah.
All right, so you got somebody you tracking? Okay.
Yeah, and Michael Pena was in a non-comedic role, so I thought
loved it.
Yeah, I thought he did a good job with that.
Yeah.
Definitely not a sequel or an anthology where they redo it or something with a different story or something like that. Like, yeah, it's good. This is a standalone for the most part. It doesn't get 100% with me, but for the most part, it was quality.
Okay. As we've already previously discussed, and we will get to that. Kim, please, what did you think of All Her Fault?
I liked it. I watched it all in one sitting because it just kept me every episode at the end. I was like, I gotta know. So kept me going, and I feel like it's called All Her Fault because Peter tried to blame it on Marissa. Like, at one moment, he was upset. He was sitting there. I think Pena was sitting across from him or whatever. And he said, I can't exactly remember what he said, but it was more like, why didn't you investigate more? Why didn't you
verify the number?
And stuff like that. So he was trying to blame her, knowing that it wasn't her fault, but he was trying to do it. That's why it's called All Her Fault, because it's trying to throw you off. Because we know it was all his fault. But that's what I felt. That's why I felt that it was called that. Just kind of to throw you off, right? Because Marissa is her and Peter's story is the first story. It's the major story of the entire thing. So that's why it was called that, I believe, in my opinion. But anyway, I really thought that this was well written. The actors were supreme. These are really good actors anyway. They've been in everything. And so they really held my attention. The only 2 actors that I had never seen before were the brother and sister. Never seen them in anything ever before. So And then their acting was fine, but it wasn't at the same caliber as the people they were in that were in the show with them. Like, yeah. So anywho, I enjoyed it. I recommend anybody watch it if you really just like a thriller, mystery kind of thriller kind of thing with a twist at the end. This is your show.
Yeah.
And it's not too long. It was, for me, it wasn't too long. I was okay with how long it was.
All right, all right, all right. I like that. I like that. I feel like that was for me, but it's fine. Just
a little bit. No,
just a little bit. Stacy, please. Thoughts?
It was a great show. When I first was planning to watch it, I thought it was a British show. Because it kind of has that feel, that kind of slow burn storytelling that they typically do. And plus, I've seen another show that's pretty similar to this. It was Australian or something, but similar. So I kind of went into it and I was like, and then it kind of, and I was like, after the first episode, I was like, I already know. Like, I thought I already knew, but then I didn't know. And that's what's good because it doesn't, like, it drops clues, but it doesn't just like spoon it out for you. Like, it's a pretty good, like, ride that it takes you on. So I did like that. As far as the title, I talked to my friend and she was like, well, yeah, it was her fault because she didn't verify the text messages or whatever. So they were blaming the mother. Granted, she only watched like the first 2 episodes. So she was like, you see your kid somewhere, but somebody's texting you, you don't even know the person. And so she was saying that. And then my other friend, because I was talking to people with kids, and she was like, well, whenever anything happens to the kid, it's always the mother's fault. Like they always blame you as the mother. So that's kind of the feedback that I got from it. So
All right. All right. I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. I forget 1, 2, 3, 4, at least 4 stories that could have been their own movie, but they integrated them very well with Milo's kidnapping being the main one, which I thought was very interesting. Again, to Jamani's point, the last 3 episodes, I was like, I said, babe, we're gonna watch this one a night because I'm tired and I just want to go to bed. And once we got to 6, I was like, nah, we're gonna finish this. And I was like, boop, boop, boop. And I was like, I gotta see how this wraps up. So it had me going for that. To your point, I also agree it's all her fault because again, women are often blamed, when anything happens to the kids. I think that was the issue. Peter again did blame Mar for his son. Jenny blamed herself, saying for what happened to Milo and that kind of thing, and it was going on with her own child. So I felt that was a constant theme in that. But I felt like it was a parenting series because it's not just the moms, it's what the fathers do or don't do and their decisions, Peter in particular, but every father had to make decisions and why they act the way they do. So like it's how parenting goes. So I think if you're on either side, I think you can see it. And I felt as we get into the first story, I feel like Josephine Murphy, a Carrie was brilliantly written because she was seen as the villain, as the lifetime movie standard of the crazy woman that kidnaps a cute boy and why would she do it. And then she's the victim in every sense of the word. Like it's like all this happened to her, and I was like, wow, like when you pull back the covers, it's like she's probably the biggest victim in this place, which to me, which is why she put on the thumbnail. I thought she did. That was a great role. And a lot of feelings had to get shared through that. But anyway, so we're gonna start with the main story. So again, Milo goes missing. Mar blames herself. Peter blames Mar, and ultimately Carrie did it. How was this story flushed out? Was it engaging? Could have been its own movie, separate from the other stories. Those kind of things. But what did you think of that story and the ride? We will go back. We'll start with our top. We'll start with Kim. So what did you think of the Milo kidnapping story?
Oh, I thought it was a good story. It's just for me, I don't know if I don't know you that well, my child can't go to your house and have a play date without this being like already, like we've already discussed this. You know, I've been to your house. I see how you keep your house. You know, like my kids. I mean, they'll tell you. They said, oh, I want to go over Jeff's house. No, Jeff needs to come over our house. Because seriously, that's the way I was. I raised my kids that way. Like, I don't trust that Jeff's house. I trust my house. You're my kid. If you want to have a sleepover, you want to have a play date, you come to my house. Now, if your mama doesn't call me to get to know me, or she doesn't come to my house to see how I keep my house, that's her problem. But it'll never be my problem because my kid's not going over there. So I'm very different. So Marissa, understandably, she's a career woman. All of us have careers, but at the end of the day, you're a mom first. And so therefore, I felt like she did not do her job very well as the mom. And she just kind of was like, I'm really busy. Okay, it's my friend that I kind of just met. And she's saying, you know, she's going to go ahead and take my son home with her. No, ma'am. No. So when they said, oh, it's all your fault, I kind of was like, it was. Like, why would you do that? I'm sorry. Like, why would you do that? You don't, kids are so easily influenced and kidnapped, literally kidnapped. Why would you think that this is okay? Like, and then she didn't even verify it by calling Jenny and saying, Jenny, did you send me this text saying that you were going to pick up my baby? And, you know, and she didn't do any of that. And that's part of being a mom. You should have called and verified and made sure that this was really relevant, like this was real. And she didn't do that either. So, yeah, I'm sorry. I was like, Marissa, you messed up. You really did.
Okay. All right. All right. Stacey, your thoughts on the overall story as it unfolded?
The overall story was great. It went a different direction that I expected. I assumed the husband was screwing the nanny, and something went left, and like he planned the kidnapping because he was trying to get out of something. That's what I was thinking at first, and then I was like, maybe it wasn't the husband. It's the business partner because he gambled away the money and he wanted to ransom the kid to get the money back so he can cover up for all the shenanigans he was doing. And I was like, yes, it's the black man because it's always the black man. And so when they showed that scene of Harry and the man at the marathon, when I saw him, I was like, okay, he's tall. They didn't show his face. I was like, it's the black guy because the black guy's tall. Because we hadn't even seen the baby daddy at this point. So I was like, it's the black dude. Of course it's the black dude, right? And then it wasn't the dude. And I was like, what the fuck? But as soon as they did the flashback of her being pregnant, I was like, okay, that's her baby. And so she kidnapped her own, because I thought maybe they adopted the child. And she found out. She came back and she got her baby. I was like, yes. But then they were like, the baby died. And I was like, what the fuck? What is going on? So it just had me like, okay, well, where are we going? And where, you know? And then when they were like, oh, he's autistic, and I guess she's autistic, and I was like, so it's really her, but like it just had me all over the place. So at the end, I was like, when they actually show what actually happened, I was like, it was just really like,
See,
that was the best part, though. I felt like that was the best part when they showed you everything. I was like, oh my
and when
God.
like Peter they laid out all Peter's shenanigans.
Yeah.
It's like, this dude is sick.
Yeah.
The crazy thing is, I think I dated that guy before. Like they'll show up and they'll be like, I just want to take care of you and I just want to do it. And then it's like this control thing, and you're like, and they make you think you're crazy because it's like, I'm just trying to take care of you, baby. And it's like something's wrong. I don't know what's wrong, but it's something. Yeah. So I was triggered as well.
You've been smothered before?
I've been yes, ma'am.
Okay.
All right.
Why you had to go through that?
All right, so you good?
I need a moment.
All right.
Where's my blankie?
All right, Jamani. By exception, what did you? Because Stacey covered a lot of what I was about to say, so I got to do it by exception also. So by exception, what do you think of the Milo saga? as it turned out to be.
I feel like whatever technology they had with that marathon, they needed that for that Boston bombing, because it took them like a week to find that guy, in somebody's backyard. They tracked down everything in like 3 days with who the guy was, just standing in the crowd for like 30 seconds. I'm like,
impressive.
Yeah. I thought that when the first scene of the series, I thought that this lady was weird as fuck, right? And nothing ever happened with her. It was just, oh, she's the foster mother or whatever. I'm like, she took her phone. She's calling people on her phone for her and shit. I was like,
she's in on it.
Yeah,
she has to be in on it. Like she was just too nice and too like accommodating for some random stranger that shows up to her house. I'm like,
and then she pops back up later and is donating food and all this type of. I was like,
she did this shit.
Yeah. But yeah, I guess according to this, there are some good Samaritans or something like that.
Look at that.
But yeah, I like the way that they attempted to tie it all together. And the Marissa whole work situation coming into everything, them blaming her. I don't know why the hell she was calling a book publisher though. And then them thinking that all of a sudden that she has something that is staged or whatever. And I'm like, it would be staged if she got the kid back immediately. Who stages something is like, yeah, I'm still looking for the kid.
Build up public sympathy and interest. Get the story in the news cycle for a while. I mean, the longer it goes, not too long, because then they start looking at you. But
to that point, right? Does that give her more motive to do what she did at the end? Because it's like everybody was saying that it was staged, and if I ever come out and tell the truth, it was staged.
It wasn't staged. It was not staged, actually. But the truth is that the kidnapper was the actual mama, and I lied about it. I didn't know. She didn't know until the end. Like she wasn't.
I'm saying, like when you look at like headlines and blurbs and stuff like that, nobody's gonna read the whole everything and sift through. It's just gonna be like, yeah, the husband has something to do with it, and the summary is, yeah, it has something to do with something that was going on within the house.
Yeah. Decision in the family. I agree with that. And it goes.
I want to get to be that type of rich where I could just call somebody and they just come with a truck full of money. And I don't even count the money. I just open it up, see that there's money in there, and then
Yeah, that's pretty nice.
I don't have to sign for it or anything. Just
cash. Straight cash. Yeah, I get you. What about how Milo got rescued, Jamani? Like you made a point about that. Please explain.
Oh, you want me to go there right now? All right.
We're talking about the Milo story, Jamani. Explain.
There's no way. All right, if this was Michael Pena's son, I could go with it 100%. But this kid is going to regular school, talks, everything like that. All he just says is some weird stuff about words taste like flavors or some shit, whatever, right? And kids say weird stuff like that, right? But there's no way that you can be in a bathroom. The father you've known your entire life comes in, takes you out of the bathroom, out of the motel room, gets you into the trunk of the car, drives off, takes you to a store, whatever the location was, gets you out of the trunk, and leaves you, and you don't know who that was at all.
Yes.
The story, and they show you everything but that, because That is the part that doesn't make any sense at all.
I agree. He would have saw something, daddy, something like. And I don't. Why didn't you leave? Why'd you leave me there? Some kind of acknowledgement. What was up?
He didn't see anything. If he didn't hear anything,
that doesn't make sense. He had to open the closet. No. He had to open the closet at a minimum. He had to open the closet door to get the kid to put the thing around his head at a minimum. He talked. He opened.
He did that.
He would have saw his son. There's no way that kid didn't go daddy and be like, I saw like something. It's a far stretch. It's a far stretch. I agree with Jemani. That's a far stretch, but they were trying to tie it all together. I thought, but I thought that was Jemani brought that up. I was like, that's true. And then to the facial recognition, Jemani, you brought up how, like, again, they found the true daddy through satellite photos or whatever the hell. They didn't do that with the parking lot. Somehow they couldn't figure out who dropped the kid off, or just opened the trunk. Actually, that's all he did. He parked the car, he popped the trunk, and then he left because Milo got out on his own and was like, and then somehow just randomly found him. And I'm like, what the fuck? So how did he get back to his car? It was a lot of things that they just didn't do because they had to wrap this story up. But I was like, plot convenience. I was like, very much plot convenience for that. I would submit.
Yeah, I'm like, was it how close was the precinct? Did a good Samaritan find him and take, none of that is really explained. It's just, we found him in a parking lot and here he goes.
Yeah. I didn't think it was going to be him because it was too soon. It was too obvious that I was like, it can't be him. And then it was him. And I'm like, where's the story going? Like, it can't be him. Like, she kidnapped this kid. She wants to hurt this kid, or she thinks it's her kid. And it's like, nah, she gave him back. Like, that don't make no damn sense. Like, I was like, what? But then the story unfolded. So I thought.
Yeah. I'm like, I like the fact that it rewarded me with little breadcrumbs, like with the whole soy thing that came back at the end. Yeah. They desperately tried to tie the Michael Pena story in with this one with, one of the intake questions is about synesthesia or whatever, so that he can be in on the big reveal at the end and say, I know, and I don't care. I'm fine with it.
What? I was like, this. He's like, it's cool, baby. He's
like, I broke my corruption cherry halfway through the season where I got rid of some evidence, and I'm like, that didn't make any sense. It was like, if you know anything about police evidence, it's
Jemani. We're gonna do that later. That's a separate story. All right. Get back to Milo. Do you have anything else for Milo?
I guess it was her fault because they wasn't even paying attention to him on Easter or whatever. You got strangers talking to him and whatnot, and toys going missing and stuff, and you didn't even know what happened.
All right. Okay. Anything else?
Yes, that's fine.
All right. Stacey, you're shaking your head. What did you agree with or not agree with?
The detective, we watch all these shows, and the detectives, they always like a dog with a bone, and they're gonna get their guy, and they're gonna break the case. And in this one, he was just like, I know what you did. I'm not gonna say nothing. You can just walk out. Like,
what?
Okay. Why?
I don't know. It was like set it off at the end. At the end to set it off, where it's just like,
well, that's a reason though, because he murdered her brother and all her friends, and he was like, "It's it's fine." He don't know, he don't know what Peter did and how far he went and how he was the ultimate villain. So you actually did everybody a favor by killing this asshole, but he doesn't know any of that. He just like, you got your son and I got my son and we're good. So
realize
because he went to the hospital and they said Marissa was unconscious. So the only person who could have taken possession of the baby
was Peter.
Yeah.
But he did, but to tie, he also killed the father. He also killed her. It was murder. It wasn't self-defense. To be he put all that together. This man dropped 2 bodies, you know what I'm saying? And then kidnapped the kid first. So he really ain't shit. You know what I'm saying? And then so that's what would be like, in my professional opinion, Peter wasn't shit. So it's cool. We're good. I need about $2 million for the rest of my life, just to make sure that we're still good. Because what I'm not doing,
on the file, special needs child,
right,
something out,
right.
What's Peter's life insurance policy? Yeah, I'm gonna need
about
some
half.
more.
Just how much is your freedom worth? Let me ask you a question, just hypothetically, how much is the rest of your life worth? And I need about that, because I can send you to jail today, if you don't mind, for just killing with the soy. But anyway, anything else for the by exception. And like I said, Carrie Josie's story was tragic. Episode 7 broke me for this poor woman. Teenage mother, boyfriend goes to jail just trying to help his family. You do have your baby, you get in a car accident, you're given a dead baby, and you have to bury Noah. His name is Noah. You got to bury Noah. Then you meet your child, and by the power of your body, you're like, this is my child, and I will do whatever it takes to get my child back. Everybody thinks you're crazy. Your parents and your baby daddy are like, you're batshit, but I love you, so let's just see where this goes.
No, baby looked like grandpa.
He said it looked like his father.
He looked like grandpa, so he was like, I believe you.
I was like, how many times we'd be like, but he called her crazy. Mom called her crazy. Boyfriend called her crazy until he saw the kid, and he was like, okay, baby, I kind of believe you. But then dad kills the boyfriend. Then Peter, who kidnapped your child, kills your dad. You are framed for not just the murder you actually did. You die a murderer, and probably a 3-time murderer and baby kidnapper. And no one knows but the woman who has your child. That's all you wanted. This woman, her mom don't give no kind of fucks. It's like there's no one to remember her and know what she did just to get her child back, just to be a mother. Nobody.
That part was really, really sad. I was very weepy for this young lady. Right? I was like, oh my God. She can't win. Her parents were horrible people. Horrible. And when she thought that her dad was actually on her side, and he was like, you're just like what your mother said, you're crazy. The look on her face, I was like, I felt for her. I was like, the one person you thought believed in you and was there for you is treating you just like your mother, and he thinks you're crazy just like everybody else. I felt terrible for her. And when Peter killed her, my heart completely dropped. I was like, this son of a bitch. He was a horrible person.
Dead that night. Yeah. He should have got killed that night. You don't wait.
They all should have just started beating him in the head.
His ass. You don't do no 10-day later bullshit. Anyway, hello. This had me in a chokehold, if you will. I had watched all episodes at once. Peter wasn't shit. But you know what? I'm gonna take a step back and submit to you. Peter was right. Let me explain. He's in a situation where his wife is in mortal wounded. She could be dying. I just lost my baby. This woman is dead. According to him, this woman is dead over here, right? One of us deserves a healthy baby. So he said, and all of this is true, I could give this baby a better life than this single mother over here who's dead or not. I got better resources. So he switched.
I gotta say that there's a right way and there's a wrong way. He could have went through the adoption or the foster care process of taking the child, but he went through the nefarious way of doing it.
Again, parenting decisions. What people do for good reasons, doing bad things in a bad situation. I mean, he has a history of this, though. I'm just saying this particular situation. I'm saying he was like, let me give us a chance. And Marissa loved that Milo. It was actually Noah for his whole life. And when faced with the truth, you could tell this cop the truth, and our son is leaving up out of here, or you can go with the lie and keep your baby. And she was like, that bitch was crazy and tried to kidnap our child and killed my coworker. I mean, it was terrible. I mean, what she want me to do? She was like, I'll take my son, please. So Peter was like, so in the big scheme of things, right? Like, and from his perspective and Marissa's perspective, I submit he did what he thought was right, and Marissa went with it and never changed a damn thing. So I was like, something to consider, and some of the other things. And then I would say that he should have died that night, though. When he goes upstairs to try to get the phone, he should have tried to take it from her, and she's like, "You got to go, because I just saw you murder a woman, and you ain't that dude, right?" So, and then you left our child, because Jamani and I were talking about this. I think she decided to kill him when she heard that he's the one that picked up their son and left him, put him in the trunk, left him in a parking lot by himself, and was like, he'll figure it out. Eventually he'll get saved.
No, but we agreed that that's when she started thinking about it, right? But when he tried to
discipline that little bad boy.
Yeah. That's when she was like, he's dead already.
Yeah, see, and like they should have killed him that night, and Brian, the brother, should have helped, because like he was shitting all over that dude. But like, I mean, it kind of starts right, like once we get to that story. But like, I just feel like that would he lived too long. That was not his decision to make. I would have to go with it as well. Peter did too much to stay alive. His sins piled up on him. Like once you started to reveal, like it was all his fault. I mean, really, for the most part. But I enjoyed that, again, as dare I say, Courtney Kemp says, everybody's a hero from their perspective. And Peter was like, I'm doing what's necessary for my family, and Milo is better off. He has a bigger house, he has a pool, he has two parents that love him, and now he got a single mama who loves the shit out of him and got a whole bunch of money either way. So I'm like,
that was he was on some Walter White type of shit. Like, I'm just protecting the family or whatever. but these people act like blood tests or any sort of disease or anything does not exist. Like, this kid can get sick real quick and everything can go out the window.
That's what we get.
He has an inherited medical issue.
Yes.
Who's to say later on down the line something's going to happen to Milo? Right. He needs a blood transfusion, a kidney, bone marrow, something, and all you got is mama, and mama's not a match. Are they gonna hunt down crazy grandma and try to get some of her DNA? Like, that bitch crazy.
Right. Right, and like that's one, and usually these kind of shows, they have that moment, right? And that's how you feel like who's the real. I thought so. You said exactly what I said. I'm like, that's her kid somehow. But when they showed her having the miscarriage, right? Like she was banging on the RV, and then she's immediately in the hospital. I'm like, oh, she lost the baby. No, she didn't. We just show you. So I say, if you just want to see the Milo story, episode 1, episode 7, and episode 8, you will be all right. And then that is the Milo story, particularly episode 7. That wraps all that shit up in a nice bow for you, so you understand what's happening and why it's happening. And then 8 just kind of wraps up the whole thing. And I was like, if I just wanted that story, I would have watched those. Real quick though, last thing. I felt to the ending. I hated the ending. Marissa and her best friend Jenny sitting up there drinking wine with the kids. I don't give a fuck about Jenny in no way. I would submit that a better ending would have been she goes to find her son by herself. She goes to find her son. Where is he buried? Noah is buried, right? Like, acknowledge this little man and try to be like, and Carrie, to an extent, to be like, I know the truth. I know what happened. And she's going to get a pauper's grave. Like, no one's going to come for her at all. Like, if Marissa can be like, I'm going to be the mother that you asked me to be, and I'm going to make sure you're okay, and just acknowledge them. Just acknowledge them. I would have much appreciated that. To kind of bring it back to Carrie. And Josie. Anyway, what's up, Stacey?
Jenny was going to rat her out. As soon as she told Jenny the truth, I was just like, this bitch is going to say something. Because I was like, why is she here? See, like, that whole her and her husband and her family thought of the nanny connection, she was pretty much useless. So I was like,
Yes.
she gotta be something at some point. So I was like, she's gonna rat her out. But no, they just having tea and oh, you killed your husband. Oh, girl. Like, what?
What?
We're best
Like,
friends. I didn't even know you 2 weeks ago.
so the scar, like to your point of Will writing, they showed them in the bathroom laughing and giggling and shit, and then she sees the scar, right? And I'm like, why are we doing any of this? But the scar comes back, like, oh, that was part of the accident, right? I thought, because again, Jenny was unnecessary. I thought Jenny and Marissa were going to be a couple. That's what I thought, because the
Until
friendship
what?
was really strong and it didn't make any damn sense. Like, they hung out maybe twice, and Marissa's like, where's Jenny? I need Jenny. I just want Jenny. I'm like, Jenny, why are you at this woman's house? Your husband told you very accurately, keep your mouth shut, because if you keep on talking about I'm sorry, they're going to sue us and this little boy comes up dead or something. And she's like, I'm sorry, baby. I just need to be with you. I'm like, is this something going on here that I'm missing? Like, are y'all going to be something? And I'm like, but it turned out to be nothing. Nothing. I was like, I thought, okay, she's going to help her kill Peter. That's what's going to happen. That didn't even happen.
I
have to write a book about what really happened later on. Since she's a publisher.
There you go. There you go. It's all her fault. She writes a book called "It's All Her Fault," and Jenny gets the bam, bam. Anyway, Kim, what's going on?
Yeah, I just thought the reason why Marissa was so she easily became her friend, Jenny's friend, is because Marissa was lonely. Because if you really think about it, Peter kept her isolated. He because he feels like he's the only one that can take care of her and Milo. She was very isolated in her own home, in her own world. You know what I'm saying? Like, the only other person she really talked to was her partner, and we saw what he was, right? He was definitely not a good partner, but he was her friend, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I was reading the comment. So
yeah,
well, most of them did have friends except for like other parents, right?
Well,
and
no,
like,
no, true, but and also too, but she seemed to be isolated. If you really think about it, Peter was always like, okay, we're gonna do this and we're gonna do that. He just kind of kept her and Milo to himself, right?
Yes.
The only other people that Marissa was around was his brother and his sister.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Friend, an outside person, she clicked with her. She was like, oh, I gotta hold on to you because I don't have anybody else. Do you see what I'm saying? And she did talk to the nanny, of course, right? But the nanny is not a friend.
Yeah.
You know, so that's why I think she clung to that girl. No, it's not healthy. I'm not saying that it's healthy, but I think that that's the reason why.
Marissa didn't like Peter. That's why she wanted Jenny around. Because then when she said, I send you away, Peter, because I don't like you being here.
No, she said the thing that
I like most about
Milo that I like the most is that he gives me an excuse to get rid of you,
get away from you.
Yeah. And then
he's clingy. He is a Klingon. Peter is a Klingon. He is constantly hovering over her, constantly hovering over Milo, and his brother and sister.
So that's
Can I ask a question real quick? When all of this happened, when the big reveals came out and everything, and she said that to him, the camera crew was at the door and they rung the doorbell. And then all of a sudden they just disappeared. And then Carrie came in through the back. And then, like, where was the camera crew at?
I don't know. That's a good point. They just stopped with the interview and they're like, never mind. And then they just left. I don't know. These are good questions. They should have recorded the whole thing actually at that point. Since they were outside, you like said, knocking on the door. These are good points. I don't know. So Jenny, Richie, and Jacob. Does anybody think that story was necessary as written? Because
I think it was just to show Jenny's life, to show what she was going through in her own life, and why she was able to kind of support Marissa, because no one was supporting Jenny. Her husband wasn't supporting her. Her husband. She had a horrible husband. He didn't feel like he should be doing anything with their child. Like, he was like, I'm just going to chill in my car and watch TikTok rather than spend time with my own kid, because he didn't have the time or the patience to want to be a dad. That was horrible. And that's what she was going through. And it was constant. Like I hate when men say, yeah, I babysat my son today. Excuse me, sir. You don't babysit your son because it's your son. You're parenting your son. And that's how her husband viewed it. Like, look, I watched him. I did. I watched him for like 15 minutes. And while you went to the bathroom, now it's time for me to go and play my video game. I was like, this is a horrible dad and husband.
This is what I was saying. Women out there watch this and they will go for Peter over this guy. This guy when she found him in that car scrolling through TikTok, that like he looked worse than Peter as a husband.
Stacey, thoughts?
Would beat the entire crap out of him. I just, oh my God. How awful do you have to be to, like, your wife is literally crying out for help, and you're just like, I'm just gonna make up something so I don't have to be at home and deal with her or my child. Really? Sit in the car and play Candy Crush. But like, I feel better if he was cheating. Like, if she found him in a hotel room with another, I would have been like, at least this makes sense. Like, no, you're playing Candy Crush instead of going home and taking care of your child. When your neighbor's child got kidnapped, you give zero fucks. You like, we can't have a nanny. You got to work. And the kid just have to fend for himself. Like, I don't care. I need my space. And she's like,
can I defend him?
I understand. I'm going to do better. I was like, he would have been dead.
Can I defend him? He was a teacher, and nobody likes taking work home. So
how about you don't have?
It's one of those things where it's like, this is your profession, dealing with kids all day. Like, you gotta kind of understand.
No, absolutely not, Tony. No,
you can teach night school with adults.
Exactly.
If you don't like kids.
You have a child. You are the father of the child. You need to equally take care of this boy. And he would not want to do any of it.
They had a nanny, and that was their system in place. And the kid going missing, they couldn't get a new nanny until the kid came back. So it threw the system out of whack.
It doesn't matter, Damani. If you have a child, you spend time with a child. It's not the nannies. Nannies are there to assist you, to help you. They are not there to raise your kid. He was one of those people who had a kid because society says when you get married, you have a kid, right? But he didn't actually want the kid.
So it's funny. That should have been addressed. That, like, when he was like, I've always been me.
That was obvious. That was just obvious.
Again, it's not, because you don't know if at one time he thought he wanted a child, and then once you get it, he's like, fuck, like, this ain't what I want to do. You don't know if it was a oops baby. You don't know if they talked about it. Like, this should have been a thing to be like, we always wanted a child. Maybe she always wanted a child, but we don't know. But again, once reality hit, he was like, I don't want to do this shit. But I'm just saying, it could have been very flushed out. Just I'm saying, how did we get here?
I can agree with that. I can agree with it. It should have been better.
We definitely could have had that over this guy deciding whether or not he wanted to leave his old publisher and become a part of it. I'm like, that story could have just been left out completely.
Altogether. So that's what I'm saying. Jenny's story is really isolated and really could have been a Lifetime movie. And it would have been fine. It would have been fine. A working woman, mother, wife, trying to figure out the best balance and realize her husband is not the right partner. And then she moves on, maybe by herself, maybe with somebody else. And that would have been fine. But that's nowhere near to the level of Milo's story and how deep that got. Even Peter and his siblings, like, that was a very deep, complicated, like, family secret type story. And Jenny was none of that. And I'm like, what the? Like, why is she here? Like, this is taking away from much more important storylines that we could have flushed out more. And that's why I was like, no, girl, you ain't it. Like, you need to kill your husband and Marissa's gonna help you. You're gonna both of y'all gonna kill your husbands together. That would have been awesome. They all go on a boat trip. Somehow both men, they kiss each other with soy. Boom. Oh yeah, Murder Merlot. We cannot forget Murder Merlot. Same storyline. Who did it better, Stacey or Kim? This one did it better.
This one was much better. Yeah.
All right, no random painting at the end for the clue to the cop, because the cop already figured it out. She was like, I saw the painting and I knew it. Dean Hellman became nauseous at the thought of taking care of his son. When they gave the schedule, he gets home at 4 and the nanny is there after 7. Said a whole lot. Okay. Yep. I say the series could have been done without episodes 2 through 3. See, thank you. I was like, if you're focusing on the Milo story, you can bring this down and really tighten it up. But anyway,
wait.
Other
So
families,
the Murder in Merlot.
Whoa. Kim first.
You know what I wanted to be expanded more was the relationship between Peter and his sister and his brother. Because what happened between the parents? What happened where Peter felt that he had to take care of the brother and sister? And then treat them like garbage because he felt he had to take care of them. When the things he was saying to his sister, who became a drug addict because she believed she crippled her own little brother.
Yes.
Can we have a psychiatrist in the house? Like, what is this? That could have been a whole movie on its own. Because I was like, I need more information on parents. Like, did the parents die? Were they just neglected? Were the parents drug addicts, alcoholics? What happened that Peter felt this way? And then what he tormented his brother and sister.
Well, he tormented his sister and tried to control
his brother too in his own way. He did.
He controlled him. You
tell your brother, think about this, David. You can barely walk and you have a wheelchair and your brother keeps saying, no, you keep using that cane because I said so. But the brother was like, but when I'm in the wheelchair, my back feels better. I can move around better. No, that's just a cop out. You need to use that cane. I was like, what? Like, you even controlling this man's pain level? Like,
also, real quick, Stacey, I saw you nod. You were nodding.
What was I nodding at?
Peter ain't shit. When controlling manipulating his siblings. Go.
Oh my God. It was hard to watch. Like, when the brother was like, so you did this to me? And I was eligible for the surgery? And you still was like, no? Like, I mean, he should have beat him with the cane. Just that's crazy. And to say, oh, well, I don't want you using your wheelchair because it makes you look weak.
Thank you. That's what I was talking about, Stacey. That's what he was saying. I feel better when I'm in the wheelchair. Like, I don't have as much pain. And his brother was like, no. I was like, what? This man could become a drug addict because he has to pop pills in order to function in life. That's terrible.
Remember when he said, I need you to keep taking your pills and be nauseous so I can take care of you or something?
Yeah.
Same thing he said about Milo. I like it when Milo has nightmares because then I can come in and hold his hand. Like, and then I think the sister Leah said, she was like, he needs to be needed, and to the point that he cripples everyone around him to make sure that he's always needed, and that sort of thing. Anyway, the cop story was a better father, which we will get into that. I want to get into that story. So I thought that truly, but like you said, the family dynamic definitely could have been its own movie and would have stood on its own. And the final crescendo when it all comes out about what Peter actually did and how he's been messing the family this whole time. And to your point of like them getting back to kidnapper comes in, shoots Colin, and Peter goes upstairs and the brother is upstairs. Like, I would have loved for Peter to try to take the phone from Mar. Brian comes, hits him with the cane. knocks him down the stairs, and now he's crippled. And it's like, guess who's gonna take care? Like,
wait, it was giving me what's the couple next door when the husband became the cripple and the
yes,
wife got
yes,
that. I needed him to be like just sitting there, just drooling
yes.
and like, that's okay, honey. You just sit here. I'm
I
gonna go
got
out and
you.
live my best life with my baby, and you just sit here and be crippled.
That
Like,
would have
yeah,
been awesome if that was the story. If that could have been a story all by itself, and that would have been awesome to be like Peter finally sees what it's like to be on the other end of being have to be needed. Somehow the soy allergy thing, paralyzes him. Oh, real quick. So, yes, a childhood flashback would have added much more context. Just because he said it's a parenting thing. He had to become the parent, and that kind of mindset. Because again, like I said, his parents weren't shit, so then he became ain't shit, and then but Noah was a bad boy. Like he just needed some discipline. Like at some stages. Like I that's real too. But I think she was scared. I think Marissa was scared about what he might do to him to maybe even keep him in the house, right? If he starts to become too independent and mom, he may be like, you ain't get no money unless I give it to you. Or he may hurt him just to be like, hey, now I got you. You need me. Like how far would he have gone to make Milo need him? And that also could have been a fair. Also, we'll get into Colin real quick. I agree with Stacey. I thought Colin did all this shit because he was broke. Peter was correct that it wasn't good for Colin and Mia and Leah to be together because ultimately Colin stole Leah's money. That never got addressed. What's up, Stacey?
I was like, why did he transfer money from her account? Did she know? Like,
No.
they never brought that back.
And him getting murdered actually helped out Marissa because now no one's ever going to know that he's been embezzling from the company for all these months. So it all kind of worked out for everybody. Why let's get back to Leah. Why did Leah make any effort to snitch on Marissa? That don't make sense to me. Like she off camera at some point, she was like, Marissa killed my brother, my abusive, lying, manipulative brother. And I'm gonna go to the cops. But then when she gets to the cops, she's like, oh, that's right, he is an asshole. Never mind.
And she's gonna be taken care of for sure by Marissa.
So
anything either.
And I didn't make it say. Then I thought she was in on it. Like when Marissa says, "Did you call the ambulance?" And she's like, "Yeah, they will be here in 9 minutes." I was like, "And he'll be dead in 7, right?" As we talked about. Like I was like, "Why?" No, they don't give you a time. That's not how that shit works. But she was like, "They'll be here." I was like, "Oh, it's a family effort because Peter ain't shit, right? So we're gonna kill this dude, and we're all gonna be in on it." And somehow Brian would have been in on it too. I was like, "Oh, okay, it's a family effort." But no, Peter is the reason the family was fucked up. Yes, and all from a twisted sense of trying to make the family better. Like he thought he was the hero of the family, which again makes him a very interesting character. With that. But yeah, again, like I said, we all agree that could have been a separate movie.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. So and then again, yeah. So unresolved issues. Colin stealing the money never got brought up. I also thought Peter was right when he was like, "You too," because Leah, like, she said, "Oh, I love you." He's like, "I love you, girl," and she's like, "I love this house and I love trees." Some shit. He was like, "But I love you." I was like, "God damn, did she actually love this dude? Did she love Colin?" That really wasn't addressed. And then after he's dead, she's like, "He was kind of cool. I think I loved him." I was like, "Did you though?" Like, I feel like I don't know. I want to see his black family. It mattered to me. At the funeral. Where's his black mama and his sister? I'm assuming they black. I'm just assuming. But I was
what about the daddy, David?
He ain't got no daddy. I was like, it would have been fine. It would have been fine. If I at least saw a mama, I would be like, all right, this is realistic. Terry got mad is when the cops went to the hood or whatever, and she saw more black characters. She got upset. I was like, hey, what you want me to do? I mean, but poor people live there too. When Peter insulted insinuated something sinister about the black guy funeral. That's why the sister didn't give a damn. Yeah, when he was like, this is your fault. But like one more time, he's like, we're all here because of you, right? I was like, Peter is an asshole. But let's get to the detective. Did I get this right? Detective Alcarez. I'm trying to say his name right. Does that sound right? Detective Alcarez?
Alcaraz. Yeah, Alcaraz.
Alcaraz. All right. Oh boy, I would watch a show with him. Like if this was like his pilot and he was like going to be like a detective, solving crimes and shit. Like he's a really great actor, and I would watch that. Personally, a great father, good cop in a bad situation. He did what he had to do to take care of his son, and that's an awesome story. And it's like he's flawed, but he's like I got to do what I got to do. So Kim, as a only parent, what do you think of the father? Did he make a decision? What do you think as a?
I mean, it's he shouldn't have done what he did because he broke the law. But at the end of the day, it was all about his baby, and giving him the best education that he could. And he was really good with that boy. He was so good. He had the patience level, the kindness. He was so sweet to him. He was so proud of him. Anything he did, he was just glowing. Like he was when he had to change his diaper, right? Because they hadn't changed his diaper. And he was like, okay, guy, we got to do this. And then he was washing his hands and his son was kind of off in the distance and doing, his little thing. He just loves him. And that's the way you should be with your child. Like no matter what, whether they have special needs or whether they're just regular kids running around being crazy, at the end of the day, you love them so much and you'll do anything for them. And he did that. He did. He could go to jail, and that's scary too, because sir, you did something that could take you away from this little boy. I don't think you would want that, but I think he wasn't thinking that far ahead, which he should have been, but he wasn't. And again, parents are not, we're imperfect, right? We make decisions all the time that maybe scar you when you're in your 30s and 40s, right? We just go with it and hope that we made the right decision. And I think that that's what he did. Even the part when he was with Marissa and he did not arrest her for Peter, he just kind of went with it because he was like, Milo being involved with Peter probably would have turned out to be a situation that was worse than anything else. Like you said, I believe that he would have hurt Milo just to keep Milo like there. Let's put him in a wheelchair. That means he'll always have to depend on me for something. You know what I mean? So, not good decisions, no. But was he loving? Was he caring? Was he a great dad? Yeah, in his own way, yeah, he was. And I loved every bit of it. So
yeah, especially compared to the other two fathers, as we saw. Three actually. If you think about Josie's father, Giovanni, what do you think about the detectives? Great detecting and also parenting.
What now was in that drawing that Milo did at school that you could see synesthesia in that drawing? Because I didn't see it. I don't know.
Plot convenience. We just gotta get to the colors, and he was like, I don't know, bro. I'm not even gonna lie to you. But he was like, wait a minute, there's something here. Let me get into Josie's high school records instead of DNA and blood tests and shit. But ultimately, he solved the mystery. That's all we need to know. And somehow he didn't go to jail. So
I'm like, what type? This is Chicago. This isn't backwater.
Actually, it's
Dakota or something like that, where you walk into an evidence room, they have security cameras. It's a sealed bag. That's why there's a chain of custody. You seal the bag. You're not able to open the bag, replace it with other stuff. You just, if he went in there and he just opened the bag and then, the chain of custody has been broken because the bag is open. That's all you need. You don't need to go into taking some Tylenol from my house and now I'm going to replace it with these, and like, you're doing way too much. And if he gets caught, then there goes your pension and everything. Yeah. So I don't know. Yeah, I'm like, so basically he just broke bad. So yeah, I would like to see a series on that. Like, this is the making of Vic Mack. Yeah,
I would take it to the shield level.
His kid was autistic too, and he was doing a lot of that stuff because he was like, my kid needs to go to this special school and all this type of stuff.
He was? Oh
yeah, shit. You don't remember the kid burnt down the kitchen?
Oh damn! I don't. Oh wow, good. You're good, Jamani. It's been a long time since I've seen that. I forgot. I really did, and I love that show. I don't know about Big Mackie, bro. Like that was a whole different level of gangster. Like I think he would. It
has to start somewhere.
Oh, I get you. But to your point, anyway, we'll get to that. Anything else? Before I move on, Stacey.
Yeah, I'm like, what did his wife do? Was she a cop or something like that? Or
she was a nurse. I feel medical field. She was a nurse.
She was a nurse. Yeah.
Yeah, it would have been better if he just went to his wife and asked about, were you working that night when such and such happened? Check some medical charts or whatever. And he went off book like that as opposed to just going to a random nurse or whatever.
That's a good point. It would have made her more relevant to the storyline. I give you that.
Yeah,
I give you that. Being an accomplice, if you will, part of the investigation. I like that.
Yeah, I'm like, his partner seemed to be more, more overzealous. He was like, pressuring the sister in the interrogation room more than he was. It was like he had already,
He assigned himself that this mystery is not going to get solved, and
yeah.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, and his partner was like, "Yeah, did you see her read the labels to the food?" And I'm like, you can tell if somebody looked at it, but you can't tell if somebody read it.
I saw eyes move. That's reading. I don't know. All right. Anything else?
Yeah, that's it.
All right. Stacey, please. Oh, well, never mind. Oh, there you go. No, sorry. Woo, I was like, disappeared like the ninja. But any more stories about the detective that was and is?
I think he should have blackmailed Marissa. That would have been way more entertaining. And then I could start the spinoff. Like he goes off into detective land and he got his money coming in and he's taking care of his son and solving crime. And then he'll call Marissa for backup every now and then because you owe me, bitch. Like, I don't know.
And then, then Marissa and Jenny kill him because he's costing too much money. That's a whole other movie.
That will be hilarious.
She's like, I'm sorry. I thought he'd be done after the first $1 million, but now he's like, my kid needs some new shoes. So that's another $1 million. To your issue of no, anything else?
No, I was thinking this is set in Chicago, but it's actually filmed in Australia. That's why I was thinking, like, I've seen this before.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's an Australian show. It's actually pretty good. But it's the same storyline, but the nanny goes missing instead of the kid. And so it becomes like this whole whodunit.
Oh.
So quite fascinating. But yeah. You had a question?
No, I was gonna go with you with the blackmail thing. I was gonna say that he should have directly blackmailed the dean of the school because it was the administrator person who told him this deal, right? So there was a middle person. I would have been like, Dean needs to call me so I can be clear about what we're agreeing to, and be like, your son gets a discount. No, my son goes to school for free because your son is free. So that's what we doing. And then I would have blackmailed Marissa. Like both of them would have been blackmailed. But yes. And to Jamani's point, we should have confirmed that he got away with it, that they tried to investigate it. Did they try to investigate it? That never got addressed. Was this college kid, was he a good kid and just did a bad thing and he went on to do good things, or was he an asshole? Like, it just would have been good to say, was it worth it? Did he get away with it or not? I think they should have dialogue somewhere, damn it. Because they put a lot of time into it. That's what I thought. Anyway.
I'm like, if they did that, then we would have had to have seen whether or not that guy who was doing the book with Jenny, was he successful at his venture with her and all that type of stuff.
No, these are not the same storylines. These are not the same storyline. Like, this is critical to the detective's work. Like, he just committed a felony probably to save his kid. We need to know that he's going to be all right, because we're picturing a dad who loves his son, did a bad thing for very much right reason. If he gets locked up, is done. Like, I mean, you know what I'm saying? So that's not the same thing. Like, we need to know that he's gonna be all right, especially if we would never see him again. Like, it ain't gonna be no series, but he would have been a great series character. As for a Latino, real quick, I was happy he got to use his own accent because every time, like, I've seen him in like Ant-Man, and he has used this like Speedy Gonzalez level Mexican accent, and it's really fucking racist. So I was happy that he played just him. You know what I'm saying? And he would just do that. Any actor could have played that role. Like, it was not ethnicity specific, and I really like that. Just for general.
Isn't that because Ant-Man is a comedy?
It's just he don't have to sound like that. Like
he doesn't have to, but it is a comedy. So
yes,
but that racism is always like
funny
in comedy. So
so then we can get into the Asian characters. So then anyway, that's a whole video.
And they exaggerate Asian characters too.
Sometimes it's like it was just nice to hear him sound like himself and just be like, again, to be taken. That's what I'm saying. It was nice, and again, anyone could have played the character though. That's what I'm saying. Also, casting. I love his son was very cute and looked legitly like
yeah.
Stop it, right? Like, but he looked legit. There was no Latino in that kid. I was like, he needs to be adopted or something. Like, I was like, this is not. It's irritating me. And I was like, But he's a cute kid. I love I love them. But yeah, I'm sorry. Anyway, am I doing too much with that one? Okay, never mind.
So what about Milo? Did you think Milo was Marissa's kid or Carissa's kid?
No, or any of them, because that blonde hair really fucked me up. Because I was looking around, I was like, who? They're all brunettes, all of them, and I'm like, this what? And like, he's a natural blonde. I was like, it messed with me.
But Carrie didn't have blonde hair. She's right behind you.
And that's what I'm saying. You just bad casting.
And neither did your dad.
That's what I'm saying. You're just proving my point. It's just bad casting. It was just bad casting all the way around. They should have did better with that. He was adorable. I mean, he was absolutely adorable. And the true representation of real special needs kids, even in the son's room, like that was great to be like, they let them be who they are, and they can still be. And I love that. I love that. I thought they really made an effort to me to highlight that. But the pain of walking into that classroom. And the teacher's like, oh, he's such a good boy. He sat there so quiet. And he was sitting in his own shit for probably hours. Like that. He was like, I'm committing a felony today. He's like, this is not happening again. Like that was the last straw. And I get that. And that's hard. Like that's gotta be.
There's so many kids in that one class. That's why.
And it's like that's gotta rip your heart out. And you're I gotta do what I gotta do, right? And so did he get away with it? Anyway, and he was a great detective. I mean, just the way they wrote him, he was methodical when he was like, hey, we need to look at the cameras, we need to look at this, he put effort behind that. And again, great detective show, I thought.
Can I say they do not pay those paraprofessionals and stuff at the schools that much to do that job? Because when I was a teacher, they was talking about some of them were still eligible for food stamps and stuff like that. I'm like, to be changing some of these, they're in there for till 21. To be changing a grown ass person, you need to be getting paid more than a living wage.
Yeah, man, it was a hard situation. But again, story all by itself, just the father story would have been a great story by itself. It was great mastery. Anyway, all right, Stacey, I'm sorry. Anything for this story or just in general for the series overall as we try to wrap up?
No, I think I covered everything.
All right. Would you recommend this to others? All right. Favorite character? Do you have a favorite character or story?
Favorite character? I'm gonna say Carrie just because this was kind of her story. I've kind of felt for her.
Yeah, me too. I said the same thing. All right, let's start from. Thank you very much, Jamani. Same. Overall, would you recommend this to others? Favorite character?
Yeah, I would, but I would tell them it's not perfect. I did like that show Bookie. I'm like, I wanted to see more with the father. if he had a spinoff with, before they Peter killed him or whatever, with just his whole illegal gambling situation, that would have probably been interesting. But the same thing we said about Bookie is like, why is this guy who's dealing in finance not doing legal betting? Like, what? I don't know. I did appreciate the fact that they made him the gambling addict and they made her the drug addict and not him the drug addict. So I did.
Representation. I like that. Because we don't lean into all stereotypes. How about that?
Yeah.
I like that.
So yeah, I thought it was good. Like the foster mother from the beginning. I thought she was gonna come back in the end, but no, she didn't come back. I thought maybe she would have been like the new nanny or something to one of those kids.
Yeah, that would have been nice. Yeah, like Milo's nanny. Yeah.
Or was the other kid Jacob or something like that?
Yeah, Jacob was Jenny's son. Yes. Yeah.
I'm like, we just got this woman being told off about no, I'm not gonna do the fundraiser, and then that was it or whatever. I'm like, this thing should have been bigger than what it was. It was like they mentioned it a bunch of times, but
they did.
Could it have at least happened? Could we have saw it or something, or could it have meant something, tied in some sort of way or something? I don't know. Richie
was having an affair with fundraiser mom, and that's why she was in her face all the time, because she was like, "I'm fucking your husband," and it was just that's why she was nagging at her so much. And then Jenny finds out that that's what it was all about, and that's who he was in the park with, and she was raising his funds, and like that would have been hilarious, like to tie that character.
That's what I thought. I actually thought that.
But I'm like, you can't tell the story that way because she found out that he was in the parking lot from her.
So, well anyone could have did that, but I'm just saying to make her relevant too. She was in almost every episode saying the same shit and just being a bitch to Jenny. And I'm like, we need to find out there's something more to this, or she just shouldn't have been in there. The stay-at-home dad the stay-at-home dad could have did the same thing, because he knows what she and Richard were doing, and he was trying to dime him out. Like that could easily be to make him relevant, because he was just there to be like, I like my son too, and I'm a good father or some shit. I was like, okay. But I was like, why is that dude there? Anyway, I don't know where the voice came from. Sorry.
I do think it was sad what happened to Josephine and the whole. Yeah, her mother was a real bitch or whatever. So I'm like, she's like, yeah, you couldn't even keep your kid alive. Yeah. And like, we hadn't seen what had happened yet, so it was like, oh yeah, you was being reckless and you had a miscarriage, but no, it was like she didn't have nothing to do with that. So yeah, I was like, I felt retroactively vindicated for her, having choked her out and all that. So yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Giovanni. All right, Kim. For you, would you recommend it? Favorite character, favorite story?
My favorite character was Carrie. Absolutely. I felt my heart I wept for her. I was like, this is, and all she wanted was to spend time with him, just having fun. She let him do whatever he wanted to do, which, we're not supposed to do that as a parent, but that's all she wanted. Just let me have a couple of days with my baby and I'll give him back. I just want, and I was like, I feel that. I get it. I understand it. She did it the wrong way, for sure. But that's all she wanted. And then to die, that was heart-wrenching. So yeah, I would say she was my favorite character based on she got her couple of days with him and it made her so happy. So happy. And when she went to them, she was really going to apologize to them. And it's like, sweetheart, you really don't have anything to apologize for. They did this to you, but she didn't, you know what I mean? Like she didn't have the mental faculties to understand that you really didn't do anything wrong per se. You know what I mean? They did this to you. And I was like, I felt so bad for her because she has nobody. She has nobody in her corner. Like her closest friend was the nanny. And so yeah, she was my favorite character. But I really did enjoy this. I felt like Stacey said, I felt like I was watching, somewhere like a British procedural because they just do it better. They just do. I'm sorry. They do it better. South Africans do it better also. They always have a beginning, a middle, and an end. And I don't know why Americans can't get it together, but I prefer watching their procedurals than any other. Their thrillers, their procedurals, anything like that. I prefer to watch theirs. But this one was really good, and I recommend anybody watch it and actually watch it. Like, just sit down and have a glass of wine and really pay attention to it, because it was actually well done and the acting was really good. So.
All right. As I give my son, since Carrie, as I said, was awesome, but I'm gonna give it to the detective. I love to see a father, take care of his child, and of a parent that would check out because it's too hard having a special needs kid. You got to imagine that they just sometimes they just want to be alone and just trying to get themselves together. But he's like, I'm in it to win it, and no matter what, I'm doing to take care of my son. So he was a close number 2 to Carrie for me. Definitely watch it. I have to be honest, I saw 6 of these episodes. My wife, she watched 2 of them. I don't know, she's getting a couple of episodes, but I was like, baby, I get the gist. Let's just keep this thing moving. But 6, 7, like after 6, I was committed, and I was like, I got it. You know what I'm saying? And but it's a great journey. It's an absolute great journey. I agree. Please watch it and let us know if you haven't done it. Come back, leave a comment. And like this, I will say thank you guys very much for hanging out for us this weekend. Next weekend, Stacey will not be here, but that's okay. We're still family. We have the family business. I hope. We got Force. I hope. All's Fair. We're gonna do episode 4, 5, and 6. So we can see what's going on with Kim Kardashian and her non-acting ass, and see what's going on with these other characters. Let's see. I don't know. I will figure out something else. Am I missing anything? Did we agree to?
Stranger Things.
Huh?
Stranger Things.
Oh shit, that's right. Stranger Things, which is like 15 episodes or hours. So we're gonna try to check that out. So we'll see what's going on with Stranger Things. Check back in. I don't think about doing Kevin Hart. I'm not gonna do that. But Kevin Hart's thing comes out tomorrow, I think, or at least Wednesday, I think. So I might check that out. I got a comment back here. We got Netflix. Okay, hold on. She sent me a link. Secrets We Keep. You want to do that?
That's like the Australian version of this show.
Okay. Gotcha. Stacey always coming out with that kind of stuff. Appreciate that. Anyway, all right, guys. Thank you very much. Comments, likes, and all that kind of stuff. Have a good weekend. Happy Thanksgiving. Hope you guys, everybody, have a great holiday. Eat a lot. Eat responsibly. I don't know how those two go together, but
I will say thank you guys very much for hanging out with us. I see people watching people in the chat.
I enjoy The View very much.
I don't know what the fuck I was watching.
Rewatch this when we're done. Rewatch this. You'll see what we're talking about. You're gonna be like, oh shit.
Hilarious. Absolutely hilarious.
You want to go there?
Oh shit. Stacey, do your thing.
Fuck that shit.
But anyway, please like and share and comment on the video and all that kinds of stuff. As they say, we're just gonna end this broadcast and say bye.